Hey, I'm Rob for JTRpodcast.com, and at Airecon 5 I played Discover Lands Unknown. Now this is going to be spoiler free. I'm going to give generic examples and an overview of gameplay. Every copy of the game is different, featuring a different mix of environments, storylines, characters, locations, items and enemies. And basically you play as a character who has been washed up on an island and just needs to survive. At the start of the game you're faced with a bunch of randomly placed face down map tiles. You have a camp where your party will start. Each player has a character sheet with a character and a unique ability. I had Anna, a painter. You choose one of the 5 scenarios in the box, which gives you a starting card, and you'll have a jumping off point for your story. You start in the day phase where players will take turns spending as many action points as they like. Action points are tracked on a dial, which is always good, and they represent that player's stamina. A majority of these points will be spent to move, gather resources, explore to flip over face down tiles and investigate points of interest. There will be various landmarks, each with a number. Read the relevant card to gain some information about your story. It may not be straightforward, it may be a puzzle, it may just be a thing, it may be a thing you need to come back to. Whatever it is, these points of interest are always interesting points to explore. Once all the players have taken a turn, it goes to the night phase. This is where the exploring fun literally goes dark. Here you read the night card, and they start easy and get ridiculous. Each card will recover stamina, but it will depend on how well you slept, so the number of points you get each turn will vary. If you spend the night away from a fire, that can be dangerous. You may need to draw a threat card at night, and these have various effects. You may need to eat or drink or lose health. You need to spend a water token or a food token to avoid taking damage. Water is a resource that can be found, and food is gathered by defeating threats to take their meat and cooking it on a fire. As you take damage, you turn your dial to that type of damage. Starvation damage can be recovered by eating food, dehydration by drinking water, sickness with medicine, and physical damage, well, there's no cure for that. Speaking of damage, combat is done via dice. You roll 2d12s, the red one rolls higher than the enemy's attack, then they hit you. If the grey one rolls higher than their defense, then you hit them. Very simple. So players are trying to survive. It's not a co-op game, it's not a competitive game. Any players that are alive at the end of the game will win. You can craft using resources, and when you do, every player gets that blueprint to copy your invention. You can also trade resources to help keep people alive. Living people are a resource to you on your quest for survival, so the odd bit of water or food to help someone else is still helping you. The game was really fun. The story was mysterious and intense. There were clues to gather and a plot that unfolds. The constant threat of hunger, thirst and random creatures walking around is always there. This reminded me of Robinson Crusoe, as you needed to survive on top of trying to complete a goal. The story itself reminded me of Time Stories because of that exploration and discovery and the sense of doing something little that you know is part of a larger story. Maybe you found a place and you get told some info, but you don't get all the info, so you need to pay attention to things that go on. Maybe that place is useless for now, in which case you have nothing to go on. Maybe you find a thing that's useless and you've got nothing to go on. Maybe you see that thing and that place is connected somehow and now you have something to go on. I can't really say much more than that because there isn't really much more to say. The rules are light and simple, but the gameplay comes with trying to balance this speed of exploration while also trying to pace yourself so that you stay alive, you stay fed, you stay watered. It's a very fun game. I can see myself buying, playing solo and trading for a different copy for a different experience. That's the advantage of this every game is unique system, although I personally would have paid a bit more to get an app with scenarios in, but that's just me. Anyway, it's a fun game and worth a go. That's Discover Lands Unknown. Remember to like, share and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at JTR Podcast to find the blog and the podcast at jtrpodcast.com. I've been Rob, aka Jesta ThaRogue, and I'll see you soon.